Good afternoon, folks. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock, and we're in the park. Quick look around. One of our usual spots. Been here probably an hour and a half. I was actually waiting for this one here to stop panting so heavily. But it doesn't look like she's going to stop. She's had water, but she doesn't seem to be cooling down. I've sprayed her with a spray bottle. So she's nice and damp, but still panting away quite heavily. I'm about to make pot noodle in the park. I brought a flask of hot water. I got the pot noodle from the donation the other day, and I got a stick of dead bread that will dip nicely in there. So that's what I'm about to do now. Okay, pot noodle is open. The flask is now open. I mean, you know how to make a pot noodle. I don't really know why I'm showing you it, but you know, I guess there's a novelty for me of having a pot noodle and bringing it to the park. Maybe the water's cooled a little bit too much, I don't know. We'll seal it up and see. Okay, back shortly. Okay folks, it's not quite ready yet, we're about halfway. I've just added a bit more water and given it a stir. Now I'm adding the whatever the flavouring is that comes with it. And I'll give it another bit of a stir and put the lid back on for another minute or two. So in a short while, after I've eaten my pot noodle and maybe a few and my dead bread, which I'm going to dunk in there, I'm going to sit down and work through my thoughts on what to do with my last few euros. I've got a bit of food in the tent, but not much that adds up to kind of meals. I've got bits and pieces. So I've got quite a bit of tomato frito. I've got a lot of flour, some rice, some lentils, although I think some of them might be going bad. Something might have got into the container and like damp or liquid, I don't know. There looks to be discoloration at the bottom of the container, so I'll have to check that out. I need to have a sort through really. I've got those drawers, those basically they're wooden boxes piled in my bedroom, and I need to get into them and bring out something, see what's there, and kind of take stock of what's there. But I'm also aware I was down to my last euro. And a lady down the road who I nicknamed Morticia, she looks like the lady from the Addams Family with the long dark hair down her back. Lovely lady. Every now and again she brings me a bit of food. Hopefully her ladyship is settled and sorted now. No more interruptions. Okay folks, that should be my noodles ready. Let's have a look. Good enough for me. Okay folks, give me a quarter of an hour to eat these and my bread, and I'll come back to you and we'll talk about my plans for my money. Okay folks, what I was saying before, I've got some things in the tent. So I've got maybe half a dozen eggs, but they've been there forever and it's a very hot tent. I need to check the status of those. But I think that I would like to buy some more if possible with my last few euros. 12 eggs could go a long way. Lots of things you can do other than just eating them as eggs. Use them for thickening sauces. If I do something, I've got powdered milk. So if I was to make a batch of powdered milk up and put eggs in and a bit of flour, that would thicken up, and I could That could be a thick sauce. I could make a batter. More flour for Yorkshire puddings. Tina, shush. So lots of possibilities. Eggs. I could use flour, sugar, eggs, and the powdered milk to make a cake of some description. I've got drinking chocolate powder, so I could make a chocolate flavoured cake maybe. Just lots of options. So eggs go on the list because they complement the other things that I've already got. And like I said, the eggs that I've got, probably half of them at least are going to be bad when I try and when I put them in a pan and check whether they sink or not. So things like that, I've got a process to go through and try and think and prioritise. Because I got 10 euros from the lady down the road when she brought me food. I had €1.50 and a bit of other change lying around already, and the €2 from this last donation, along with the other goods. So yeah, I got about, I think, €13.70 something. But I could easily make a list up that would be over €20. So I have to, you know, prioritise. Out of all of the possibles, list the high priorities, list the ones, the additions that would be nice to have, and then mark of the high priority ones and of the nice to haves, kind of mark them with the second thing of which could you live without if you have to, you know, which could you forego, and then try and make it within what I think is my budget. And then of course you've got to actually go to the shop and find that everything's gone up 20% since last week when you looked, and that you can now no longer afford what you thought you could afford. All of that. So we got that process to go through. So we'll have a look at that in a little while. I'm just going to kick back now, maybe have a couple of biscuits and watch a YouTube video or two and hope that the flies go away. It's that time of the afternoon. Okay folks, catch you later. Okay folks, as mentioned earlier, I needed to go shopping, and the aim was to get the best value I could from my last €13.80. So here's where I started. On the left I made a list of staple food products, the things that you're going to want in a, you know, you don't want to run out of, the things that are good to have in. So as you can see, potatoes, carrots, onions, rice, lentils, tins of tomatoes, stock cubes, gravy granules, eggs, coffee, and I had a few others on, but I eliminated them as I went through the process. So I tried where I could to specify what I was after. So next to the potatoes, the last time I was there, it was a 4 kilogram bag that was €5. Carrots were 1 kilogram for roughly €1. Onions 2 kilograms, might have been €2, might have been a little bit higher, and onwards down the list. Now some items here, if you look next to stock cubes and gravy granules, I just put a line. I have those, so I didn't need to get those. And likewise, rice and lentils I eliminated because I already have some, maybe not hundreds, but I have some. So I've left them in the list, but I didn't have any intention of going and getting them. Now if you look down the column where there are asterisks or plus symbols, the asterisks are my high priority items. Those are the things that I definitely wanted to have at the end of the shopping trip. Things with a plus, those are the nice to haves, the things it would be good to have at the end of the trip. So the minus signs indicate items that, although I'd like to have them, or although I feel I must have them, like in the case of the carrots, those are the items that I feel I could sacrifice if I had to. For example, if it turned out I didn't have enough money. And so that was the process I tried to go through prior to going shopping. So as you can see, the items, carrots and tins of tomatoes, are the ones that I would sacrifice if push came to shove. Okay guys, it's just after 8:30 on a Saturday night. It's that time when the flies get a little bit bitey and in your face. So apologies if I start swatting and batting the little buggers away. Just got back from Mercadona, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. I mean, I'm spending the last of my ready cash. I've got a few cents left, but nothing notable. And decisions were made, and you know, you saw the planning kind of process, and here's the reality. Everything was so expensive. I mean, potatoes have been up and down in price, so the experience wasn't pleasant. Everything is so expensive. I mean, potatoes, the last time I bought them, they changed the size of the packs. Instead of being you used to get 3 kilogram or 5 kilogram bags. Suddenly they had 2 kilogram and 4 kilogram bags. This time it was back up to 3 kilogram and 5 kilogram bags, but the prices. I'd gone out with the intention of buying 5 kilograms and bought 3. And it still bit into my budget more than I'd wanted. Onions were, you know, more expensive than I wanted, but about in the ballpark I expected. Carrots, what the hell happened to carrots? Carrots were always 1 kilogram for €1. I think I remember them going up slightly at one point to maybe 1.10 for a kilo. So today I got surprised when the bag was 85 cents, and I thought, oh, they've come back down. That's good. No, I had to put my glasses on and make sure. Half a kilogram for 85 cents. So 170 a kilogram. That's a 70% increase. 70% increase. I tried to buy a bag, but if you remember, they were on my list of things I could give up if there was an issue. And by crikey, there was an issue. I feel like I missed off half the items on my list. I couldn't even find sugar. Perhaps just not shopping often enough to remember where things are. Eggs were about as expensive as I remember them going up to. A lot more expensive than they used to be. It used to be 150 for 12. Now it's 220. So again, I mean, that's a 50% increase, or thereabouts. I bought sunflower oil. That's something that used to be roughly €1 per litre. And it was about 180, which is... I remember that getting expensive because of the start of the Ukraine-Russian war. So I knew that was going to be expensive, and that was on the list of possibles to buy or not buy. But I got that. But when I got to the counter, when I got to the till, the kiosk to pay, it came out to $14.40, and I only had $13.80 something or other. So I had to give something up, and I gave the carrots up, gave them back, which kind of knocks my plans a little bit, because some of the things I was wanting to make would be a little bit boring without them. They were my only veg other than the potatoes. So that's going to be an issue. So let's take a look at what I did get. I got coffee. It's exactly the price I expected, €2.50. Bearing in mind, guys, for the first time in my life I've come away without the receipt somehow, which on the day that I'm doing a shopping video wasn't great. I got 12 eggs. I had the choice between medium size for €2 or large for $2.20. So I got a dozen large for €2.20. The cooking oil I already discussed, 180 if I remember correctly. And that literally just leaves potatoes and onions. 3 kilogram bag of potatoes for, I think it was just over €4. And a 2 kilogram bag of onions, I'm not quite sure of the price. Somewhere between €2 and €3. So that's all I bought with the last of my money, in a bid to try and have food in for the next week or two. Most unsatisfactory. Most unsatisfactory experience. So just going back to the notes here, the right hand column shows the price I actually paid for things and any variance in the specification. So 3 kilograms rather than 4 kilograms, half a kilogram rather than 1 kilogram, etc. And the only other significant variance there, the carrots of course are marked with a hash symbol indicating that they were handed back when I didn't have enough money. Okay folks, I think that brings to an end this unsatisfying experience. I think the following short clip summarises the point well. Most unsatisfactory experience.